says in Pasuk that Yakov Avinu saw the agolos that Yosef sent to carry him, bring him down to Mitzrayim. Yosef sent agolos to Yakov to bring him back down to Mitzrayim. It says in Pasuk, Vayaretz agolos. So then it was Vatachi Ruach Yaakov Avinu, he came back to life. Chazal say, and Rashi brings it, Vayaretz agolos, he gave him a siman. I'm Yosef, look what I remember that we were Osik in Parshas Eglah Arufa when I left you. The last Parsha, the last Torah that Yosef learned by Yakov was Parshas Eglah Arufa. So Vayaretz agolos doesn't mean the wagons, it means Parshas Eglah Arufa, the calf, the Eglah. The derech of Rabbeinu Yואel seems to be, from the few Torahs that I saw, that he always looks to fit together the drush with the pshat. Shomer explained last week has to do with the Yesod HaOfer, should be Kedusha, of course. The drush shouldn't just stay a drush, it should fit in with the pshat. The pshat is agolos wagon, the drush is Eglah Rufa. What's the connection? Says Rabbeinu Yואel like this. There's a halacha. Hazmana lav milsi. Somebody prepares something for an Isser Hano, for example, prepares a beged for a mess, Tachrich, and he prepares for a mess, and the din is a mess is also ba'ano, and everything that's on him is also ba'ano. But with preparing alone, it doesn't get a din of the mess. As one alav milsi, it's mutar ba'ano as long as you didn't actually use it. That's what Rava holds. And where does Rava learn it out from? Avodah Zarah. So din by Avodah Zarah, if somebody is mazmin something for Avodah Zarah, it's not also. It's not also ba'ano. Abaya argues on Rava and he holds Hazman milsi. And you can't learn out from Avodah Zarah. So Avodah Zarah is something, you learn out from other places. You learn out from Eglah Rufa. Eglah Rufa, the din is Hazmana Milsa. They take this Eglah, they prepare it for an Eglah Rufa. They're mazmin it, it's already Neser Ba'ano. Before you do the Maisa of chopping off the Rifa, already the Hazmana, it's already Neser. Says Abaya. You learn out from Eglah Rufa that it's Hazmana, it is Neser. Why does Abaya not learn out from Avodah Zarah, which Hazmana lav milsa? So Gemara says because it's lav orche. You only learn out from things that are orche. What does lav orche mean? It's not a derech. It's not a Jewish thing. Rashi says not only it's not a Jewish thing, it's also not a Goyish thing, because Goyim also are not allowed to worship Avodah Zarah. So Mameli says you can't learn out from Avodah Zarah that what? That Hazmana lav milsi. So you know why? By Avodah Zarah, Hazmana lav milsi, it's muter, because maybe Dilme mehadri behu, Rashi says. It's something so unusual to worship Avodah Zarah, Meshugas like that. And so he prepared it for the Avodah Zarah. So who says he's going to really worship the Avodah Zarah and use this as a meshamish to the Avodah Zarah? Dilme mehadri behu, Rashi says, because that's what the Gemara means, lav vorche. This is a Gemara in Sanhedrin, Mem Zayin Amud Beis. Any questions? So, it says Rabbeinu Yואel, very interesting chidush. He says, what's the whole, comes out like this, that the Svara Hapshuta would have been, that Hazmana, you should learn that. That means Hazmana should have been Milsi. It should have been like Egla Rufa. Everything, the whole Torah, you should learn out from Egla Rufa, that Hazmana does us. And for the Zohar, it's a special thing that it comes out for the Zohar. It's one of the Averas, Hachi Chamuras, but in Hazmana it's more kal than everything else. Because who says he's going to ever use it? Says Rabbeinu Yod, that's only after they were mevatel the Yitzhar of Avodah Zarah. Very interesting. But before they were mevatel Yitzhar of Avodah Zarah, it was so bad. Everybody knows the Gemara Sanhedrin by Menashe, that he said to Rav Ashi in the dream, if you would have been in our times, you would have picked up your beged, your long beged. They all wore long clothes. You would have picked up your robe, maybe a gleeman. You would have picked it up to make it easier for you to run, to worship the Avodah Zarah. So you see, but it was such a strong Yitzhar that Gedolei Olam were nichs on it because the Yitzhar was so strong. So Memela, it's much harder to say Rashi Svara, the Dilma Hadrabu. So that they may have Charot, because it was like, it was Rahman al-Itzlan, it was a way of life, Avodah Zarah. So Memela with Hazmana, it would be Nasar, L'Kuli Alma. Even Rava would be Moda that Hazmana is a milsa for Avodah Zarah. Come now, he says like this. Now, Navzali in Yanenu. That means, let's just be Mesaken. That means that everybody would be Moda Hazmana milsa, and you would learn from Egla Arufa. It's not just a swara. You need a mocker for such a swara. Hazmana milsa, you need a mocker. The mocker is Egla Arufa. Now, this is Yadua. The Avos and the Shvatim, they knew what's going on in Ruchnis. They could see Ruchnis. They could see the Merkava. They could see Hashem's running the world. They could see the presence of the Shekhinah. They saw the pipes with what we call the
plumbing.
The plumbing of the heaven. They saw it. Well, they didn't have to learn it in the Kisvei Arizah. Of course, they knew it from the same place where the Arizah knew it from. So they also knew it from. The Arizah learned that he was massing it. By the way, it doesn't...
He might have taught him.
Okay. He didn't just one day Leon Novi came to him. Maybe Malachim, maybe Tzaddik, Neshavos of Tzaddikim also came to him prior, imagine. No, like Rav Shimon Bar Yochai or others came to him. But you don't think it just happened just one day like that. He was sitting and they all came to him. If you read the Sefer Shvachei Arizah, I think it's called. You see, he sat there in Egypt in his hometown where he started out. He sat 7 years beprecious beisvodidus, and he learned Yomam V'Layla B'Yegia Atzuma, Gemara, Rashi, and Tosfos and Poskim. I think he had a rebbe or a talmid, Rebbe Tzal Ashkenazi. What was he to him? His brother.
Shita Mekubetzes.
Yeah. And then after all the Yegia Atzuma and Avoda and Simcha that he was Kiyadua, that he was over on the middle of Simcha. Then he was Zocher, the Anovi came to him, and whatever came to him. And he had the greatest Asogis. Now, the Shvatim, Alachas Kama V'Kama, they also knew all this, and they saw all this. And he brings here, the Rabbeinu Yואel brings him the Nezer HaKodesh. He brings a lot, the Nezer HaKodesh. It seems the Nezer HaKodesh...
Michal Zuber also.
I don't know who he was, but I see that...
Yafa.
What?
It was Yafa.
Marash Yafa, that's the Yafei Torah. But he's on the Medrash. But the Nezer HaKodesh goes up a lot with Pnimius Inyanim, with concepts from Kabbalah. He touches on the Inyanim of Kabbalah, which the Yafei Torah doesn't do that. Anyway, so the Nezer HaKodesh says that they also had a saga in the Tzad HaSheni, the Tzitra Achra, the Chitzonim, the Merkeves HaChitzonim, he calls it. Hoyu Bekim Gam B'Chochmas Merkeves HaChitzonim Shusharesh Avodah Zarah. Pshat is like this. Just like we have a whole system of how Hashem is running the world through different kochos, different spiritual kochos, which the basis is the 10 spheres kiyodua. So on the other side, they also have their 10 spheres, and they have their plumbing and their pipes and their ways of running the world. And it's probably all the name of Shadim and Malachi Chabola and then the Satmar and Kat Delay, like it's called. But the Elvis and the Shvatim, they saw all that. So Yosef, so now, in Mitzrayim, they were so shotuf b'avodah zarah, was so full of avodah zarah, ad kidei kach, that when Paro sent Agolos, the Pasuk says, Ba'agolos asher sholach Paro. So it was, there was a avodah zarah was chag. He made pictures of avodah zarah on the wagons. And that's what the Agolos that Paro sent. Yehuda saw that, he burnt them. He burnt these wagons. But then there was Agolos asher sholach Yosef. These, you have to look good in the psukim and figure it out. I mean, I understand that from the way Rabbeinu Yואel says, there was two types of Agolos. There was Agolos asher sholach Paro and Agolos asher sholach Yosef. The Agolos that Yosef sent, they were clean from any shemetz of avodah zarah. There was no, what does that mean? The pictures of avodah zarah, that for sure there wasn't. But I would think that they didn't even, when they made the wagons, they didn't even think of machshavas avodah zarah while they're making. So Yosef said like this to Yakov, you want to see where I'm holding, you want to see where what became of me after all these years I was in Mitzrayim. Look, give a look at the Agolos. And you'll be able to see, because you could see Ruchnis. You'll be able to see how Kadosh V'Torah these Agolos are. And hooray, I learned with you the Parsha of Eglah Rufa, that over there we say Hazmana Milsi. And if there was, according to that, and in those days that before they were Mavatal the Yitzhar of Avodah Zarah, everybody agrees that Hazmana Milsa, like we said. So if there would have been any Hashemets of preparing it for Avodah Zarah, not only using it as an Avodah Zarah, then any kavanah that these wagons should be used for Avodah Zarah, you would have seen the tumah on it. Yaakov Avinu, he sang to Yaakov Avinu. So Vayarsa Agolos, Avad it's kipshuto. We don't have to go away from the pshat when we say the Drush. Vayarsa Agolos, he saw the wagons. But in order to see what really was, what kind of wagons they were, that you have to remember Parshas Eglah Rufa that you learned with him. And over there you'll see what an influence, even a far away influence, can do to an object, to something. And that's Hazmana Milsa that you learn from Eglah Rufa. And Yosef said, don't think I have any shemetz of avodah zarah, anything from the influence of Mitzrayim, nothing stuck to me. And that you see what can happen if something is prepared for, it does have some far out shaykhs to avodah zarah. And you learn that from Eglah Rufa. Now look at the Agolos and you'll see who I am. So it comes out Rabbeinu Yואel Ba'ofen Niflo connects the Drush and the Pshat, and it's mamish, one fits into the other. Like two kalim, that one fits into the other perfectly. Vayarsa Agolos, he saw the wagons, and he understood what Yosef was from the halacha that you learn out from Parshas Eglah Rufa. And Rabbeinu Yואel adds that's in those days when there was Yitzhar Avodah. What shall we say b'yameinu? He says, man. What shall we say? The Yitzhar of Minus, that was miskaber b'yameinu, that there's all kinds of ways of Hazmana Milsa for Minus, for believing. What does he mean, Minus?
We got 20 seconds.
It doesn't mean being covered, it means believing in that the Rishonim are not Rishonim. That's what he means. And we're influenced from all that. And we have to be mischazer.